10 a.m. this morning. Impacts, plan on slippery road conditions. Hazardous conditions could impact the morning commute. Snowfall since July 1st, still at 13.9 inches.
Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Glad to have y'all here for another live stream here. We are going to be covering a bit of this winter storm as we are seeing a lot of impacts out of this storm already starting to kick off here. So we're going to dive on into it. Anyways, my friends, let's go ahead and see who we have here for today. We have Supercell, we have Clint, we have Boston, we have PayPal. What's up, guys? Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I know it definitely is pretty early, but I decided I'm going to go live here for a little bit and do a bit of coverage on this storm here, as we are seeing a lot of heavy snow, a lot of heavy impacts out of the storm system that's already starting to pop off here. We already got a lot of heavy snow that's currently falling throughout portions of like southeastern Pennsylvania into northern Maryland, actually. It looks like, according to winter weather radar, we're starting to get a little bit of upper level snowfall out there towards the Blue Ridge Mountains there in northern Virginia. So we are starting to see a lot of snow out in those regions as well. Same thing for portions out there by like eastern, West Virginia and those areas overall. What's up, Monster? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. What's up, Wolf Lover? Saying snow in Southwest Virginia. Yeah, no, we have been watching a little bit of snowfall out for some of those regions. Not a whole lot per se. We're not expecting that much activity out in those regions. I mean, we do have a winter weather advisory out there by the Appalachian Plateau of Virginia, but a lot of the heavy stuff, as you can see, is going to be taking place out there in these areas out there by the pink, because these pink areas are actually winter storm warnings. These are where winter weather conditions are expected to be pretty harsh, and we're expecting some pretty heavy impacts across some of those regions out there. Current radar, as you can see here, shows a lot of snow falling across those warned areas per se, driving a bit of snowfall, in which obviously if we work our way up here to the northeast, we are still seeing some snowfall out there towards southern New York State, portions out there by like Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and that's where the snow kind of ends here. If we hop over here towards Vermont, New Hampshire, not a whole lot is going on here. It's relatively clear for the most part in these regions, but yeah, no, whenever it comes to it here overall, a lot of the heavy stuff right now is across southern New York and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and hop over here to the accumulations regarding the snowfall. We are expecting a pretty good amount of snowfall, actually. So let's go ahead and bring you guys over here to that. This is actually the latest. Oh, they just updated it. This is the latest information that has just came through here literally just now. So this is straight off the press, my friends. We are still expecting good potential out there of over a foot of snow out there towards southeastern Massachusetts, portions of eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island here could see up to a foot. A lot of the areas in general, throughout portions of New England and portions of like Pennsylvania and stuff, could accumulate over a foot total. Considering we've already seen a lot of the snow actually fall across these regions, we are going to be seeing the potential of some more accumulation to occur out in some of those areas overall. So whenever it comes to it here, like I said, we are expecting, we're going to go over some of these populated areas here really quickly. We have Syracuse, we're talking maybe about a half a foot, could still be possible out in those regions. Albany, about 3 inches. Buffalo, about 3 inches or so expected. New York City, also about 3 inches expected as well. But it really starts to go up there once you move your way towards like Boston. Nearly 9 inches is expected. Providence, Rhode Island, nearly a foot could be a possibility. Let's see here. Good morning, Terminal. Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Good morning, Ash. Let's see here. Monster says, I don't have a delayed opening for school. Oh, well, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. Trust me, I remember those suffers. And just sitting there thinking and hoping that you get out for school or some type of delay, but ends up not. Oh, trust me, I've felt that a lot of times before, but, it is what it is. What's up, Christy? Good morning. Hope you're well. Like I said, sorry to be live here so early, guys, but, like I said, I can't decide whenever Mother Nature decides it wants to throw out some nasty storm activity. And in this case, we're covering the winter side of things. Lately, we've been covering the severe weather concerns and all that stuff, so this is a little bit of a change overall. We're going to hop over here to a live camera right now. This is out there in actually southern New York State. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. We're going to keep the radar and stuff like that up for you guys. But there you go. This is out there in southern New York State. We are seeing ourselves a bit of snowfall that is falling across those regions there. And where the camera is at, we are expecting about another 5 or so inches potentially to roll across the region here. So, from what we already see here, you can already see the roads are very much covered. We got some people that's traveling. It looks like they're going pretty slow, which is good because they need to slow down in this type of weather overall. Christy says, gotta run, just want to say hi. All right, that's fine. That's all right. Glad to have you, Christy, and thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. But yeah, so a lot of the bridges have already been covered in covered in snow, in which you can see someone going through it right now. It definitely doesn't look the best. It looks pretty, pretty covered, which is a bit of an issue for morning rush hour. Yeah, there you go. A lot of cars coming through right now. So you can still see, a lot of the snow there is still on the roads, and it is indeed sticking. Now, if we hop back over here to the radar view, down here towards like Connecticut and southern New York State and stuff like that, the temperatures you can see here from MEDAR observations, which is basically just weather stations, we are observing about 30 to 32 degrees or so. I mean, some stations do go above that. We got that one station showing 46. I don't believe that. One bit, honestly. But yeah, no, we're mostly in the lower mid-30s across the region too. I mean, most areas is below freezing across like southern New York State and Connecticut and some of those regions. Where it does go up a little bit more, where it does go up a little bit more, in temperatures and stuff like that, we do have ourselves, a bit more of a wintry mix happening there towards, like Long Island, including New York City, actually, which is included with that. We do got some cameras in New York City. We're going to hop over to some of them and see kind of what we're looking at over here. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and work our way over here to a New York City camera. Honestly, it looks just like a lot of rain. You can't really see the individual precipitation type on it, but the roads do look, I think that could be some slush over there from what it looks like. It's kind of hard to tell, obviously, by the camera, but it could be a little bit of something. Could be a little bit of a slush type of ordeal happening out in those regions there. But yeah, no, regardless, it is snowing, or it is a mixture of precipitation out in some of those regions there, so that's that. Let's see, Monster says the car should go 100 miles an hour. No, that's not a good thing. That would kill them. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a bad thing to say. Let's see here. But anyways, so yeah, no, it is definitely a mixture of precipitation out there towards like central, New Jersey, moving its way through Long Island, where the temperature is slightly above freezing. So whatever's falling is not going to stick, or it might stick to grass but melt shortly after, considering that the temperature is obviously, above freezing line. The more you work your way towards like eastern Massachusetts, it looks like we do get up into the mid upper 30s. So obviously out in these regions, it's most likely just going to be rain, a little bit too warm to have any of that accumulation or any type of heavy winter impacts and stuff like that. But that is going to change as the system does roll through. It actually will be you know the temperatures will be dropping a bit as that cooler air advances into portions here of southeastern Massachusetts. These regions overall do have winter storm warnings in effect here. This in particular one for near Cape Cod area, about 4 to 9 inches is possible. Also, pretty gusty winds too. We could get up as high as 60 miles per hour. So it definitely could be a pretty gusty type of scenario overall. And like I was saying here, if we hop over, we'll just bring the radar well over here, so we can get some of that clutter out of there. But here's all the warnings and advisories that we do have across the pink here. These are all winter storm warnings where heavy impacts of winter weather is expected. So this obviously does extend all the way from basically northeastern West Virginia. It cuts through southeastern portions of Pennsylvania. It goes through southern New York and through Connecticut into Massachusetts, and obviously like all of Rhode Island is included here. This also does go through portions like New Jersey, all of Long Island, and so on. So these are all winter storm warnings where heavy impacts of winter weather is expected. Now the kind of purplish blue kind of colors you see out here, that's kind of the region where we're seeing still some impacts of winter weather, but more limited per se. The areas in purple are not as crazy regarding the potential impacts and all that stuff. If you just grab one here, still we could see some decent amount of snowfall out in some of those winter weather advisories, but mostly an advisories just to be like, hey, travel could be a bit of a disruption overall, but it's not going to be as crazy as the areas in the winter storm warning here. The winter storm warnings is where the big stuff can happen. So just keep that in mind overall. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to hop back over here to radar view. This is currently what's popping off right now. So at the current moment, we do have a lot of reports of snowfall coming through. It looks like we have ourselves about 6-7 inches reported out there in very, very far eastern Pennsylvania, according to a couple of these, overall totals, according from people here. Allentown about maybe 2 inches or so, 5 inches slightly to the north. Let's see here. Got a couple of reports out there by Western Connecticut, between like 2 and 4 inches. It looks like it's fallen in those regions. So overall, we've seen a decent amount of snow in some of these areas already, with a lot more, or I should say a decent amount more expected to occur overall. So that is something that we'll look out there for. Let's see here. Looking at mesoanalysis, just want to take a look and see anything popping off here. So the good news is all that severe weather has rolled through that we've been tracking for the last couple of days. This system, honestly, like I said, we have a big cold air mass, stable air mass rolling through the regions here right now, which is allowing for things to become a bit more stable, a lot better in terms of no severe weather and stuff like that. If we hop our way over here to the mid-Atlantic view, there is still isolated pockets of instability out there towards southeastern portions of Virginia into eastern North Carolina. Very limited amounts of instability. I don't think we're going to get anything severe anymore. I think, the severe threat's pretty much over at this point, which is good news. Most of the instability you can see is just off the coast overall. So that is that's definitely that's definitely good news that is obviously done. So, but now of course the main problem is the winter weather that we are seeing here overall. So, but yeah, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Obviously, because snowfall is one of the main problems here. We're gonna hop over here to the northeastern view of let's see here. Or hop over here to the northeast here regarding winter weather and all that stuff going on there. Whenever it comes to it here, let's see, we'll pull up the NAM3 kilometer. Yeah, there you go. So current time, y'all, right now obviously is right around 6 o'clock in the morning. So if we work our way over here to 6 a.m., this is kind of roughly around the point where we're at right now. And so you can actually see here how the models, as we work our way down in time, keeps the storm system relatively to the coast here. Like I said, whenever it comes to it, like I said, obviously, we have seen a lot of, or we are expecting a lot of the heaviest snowfall to be out there towards, like southern New England. According to, like I said, the latest information and all that stuff, it really doesn't have as much heavy snowfall. For portions a little further up north, it seems like that's really trended down south in the last little bit overall. So that's good news for some people and bad news for others. There will be a bit of lake effect snow that will happen actually here for pretty much later today, pretty much late here today into early tomorrow. As you can actually see, we do have ourselves, a lot of heavy showers of snowfall. A lot of lake effect snow will be kicking off there across the region, which could, allow for some quick accumulations to potentially occur. But obviously, yeah, mostly right now you can see how it's going to be really heavy with this winter storm here, mostly towards southern New England, like I was saying here. Like portions out there by Long Island could definitely pull up maybe some really heavy precipitation rates, which we could see a lot of heavy snowfall accumulations in pretty much a short period of time. So it really shows Long Island and those regions out there actually getting hit pretty good with the snowfall and all that stuff. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and bring down temperatures. So yeah, temperatures at this point. Here's the thing, though. The temperatures at that point being will be slightly above freezing, which will honestly kind of throw off a little bit of the a little bit of the accumulations and all that stuff. Not going to be as heavy per se if it was below freezing or at that freezing point. Regarding the total of accumulation. So that's going to lower it a bit. But overall, places out there by Long Island and stuff like that, I mean, we are going to see the potential, in the grassy areas. We could pull maybe 2 to 4 inches or so out across Long Island, which, isn't that much, but it's something. And so it's definitely something. Now, like I said, we're going to see a lot of heavy snowfall, though. We're going to see a bunch of, really heavy snowfall. Rates come down from the sky, but like I said, it's going to melt bits of it's going to be melting as the temperatures are above freezing overall. So all right, we're going to hop over here, y'all, to the let's see here. First of all, let me go ahead and turn that down. So we're going to hop over here back to radar, and we're going to take a look and see what's going on out here. So here is portions like Northern Virginia. We are currently seeing ourselves a lot of rain for Northern Virginia popping off right now. Temperature is above freezing overall here currently. Now, as we work our way down here towards central, like Pennsylvania and some of those regions out there, you can see how we do start to transition from rain into snow out there towards central Pennsylvania and those regions out there. Now, as we work our way up here more to the northeast here for like southern New York, once again, you can see a bit of snowfall for those regions as well popping through here overall, and obviously leading its way into like Connecticut, Massachusetts, portions here toward Vermont, New Hampshire. It does work its way into those regions as well. What's up, Mama? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here. But yeah, so like I said, right now we do got a lot of heavy snowfall popping through right now. Like I said, at the moment being, the temperatures across the regions here is just barely freezing, just barely freezing. So some of those regions that are localized that could be like in the mid 40s or say mid 30s could really lower those snowfall totals overall. But like I said, a lot of southern New England here, some places is expected to see, over a foot of snowfall. The new update just came out here, which this does not take into consideration the snowfall that has already fallen. But whenever it comes to it here, if we hop over to the map here, you can actually see how, we're still talking a decent amount of snowfall expected across portions here of these regions. Let me go ahead and turn on the next 24 hours. So this is snowfall over the next 24 hours here. Basically picking up a little bit of the snowfall. I did hear about another potential clipper system that could roll through later on down in time. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Going to be happening here probably for the 15th and 16th. This thing might be the next storm system we're going to be tracking here. Looks like a little bit of a clipper system will be rolling through the northeast here, pretty much for, like I said, pretty much the 15th, rolling through the 16th, and it should be out by mid 16th there. But yeah, another storm system, and obviously we have this guy right now that's rolling through, the one that's keeping relatively close to southern New England. Like I said, yeah, the models have really trended southbound. Obviously the accumulations and stuff like that was pushing a little bit more further up north than some of those previous earlier models that we were watching, but yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed here, and has kept that more locally to the more locally to the south here overall. So a lot of rain there for portions like southern New Jersey, which eventually, like I said, later on this morning could transition back or transition into snowfall just before the system leaves overall. So we might be able to pick up a little bit of snow out in some of those regions out there in southern New Jersey overall, but honestly, for the time being, it's mostly rainfall. In which, if we hop over here to radar right now, I definitely can confirm to you that is the case. That is what's going on here. So you can actually see a lot of the green here. This is in southern New Jersey. It's kind of hard to see, but that's southern New Jersey right here. And yeah, temperatures are obviously in the mid 30s, which is allowing for things to obviously, like I said, obviously keeping things relatively wet rather than snowfall filled. Let's see here. Meteorologists here in Western New York cannot make up their minds. Yeah, I mean, it's not the meteorologist's fault, honestly. I mean, there is some, okay, I'm not going to lie, there is some meteorologists out there that, kind of add their own opinion into things. But honestly, it's the models, man. The models were, is what we mainly go off of for looking at future weather, and the models just didn't handle the storm system very well. Yeah, just really didn't handle it too well. Why am I getting rain first, then snow? As cooler air builds into your region, that's when it's going to transition to snow. For example, let me show you back over here to the models real quickly. So what's going on for some of those regions here, as you can see, the low pressure system located right in here. As you can see, that's where the low is located. So in these systems, you get a lot of warm air that advects north and is pushing against these regions here, which is allowing for all of this to remain rain. And then the cold air, the cooler air actually comes down from the north and is actually pushing against the top of the storm here, which is allowing it to turn into cooler precipitation, which is snow in this case. So a lot of it's the warm air that's kind of pushing off, and then you have your mix zone here, which is right on the line between the rain and snow. But as the storm system rolls eastward, the cooler air advances into your region, which allows that precipitation once from rain to turn into snow overall. So it's that's kind of the thing behind it there to what's going on. Let's see here. The crops need a good snow cover. No apples last fall. Oh man, you have apple trees, Bab? It's pretty cool. I used to have one growing up in Virginia. Yeah, we didn't really eat them too much because they always had worms. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, so that's what's going on there, you guys. We do got some reports coming through. Let's go and hop you all back over here to radar view. So we got some reports coming through right now of a bit of snowfall out there in southern Pennsylvania, out there towards portions of Maryland and so forth. We have reports, some areas getting well over 6-7 inches already fallen across some of those regions there, and like I said, but once again, that's not all the snow. That's not all the snow here. I mean, we still have a lot of heavy snowfall that's ongoing across the regions that will continue for the next several hours here, for the most part. So, and like I said, for portions of like Pennsylvania and all that stuff, the snowfall is going to be going through now. So listen up, because this is kind of like the the timing of when the snow is going to be gone across some of the regions here. So so this is kind of an estimate overall. So right now, like I said, it's obviously about 6:30 a.m. right now Eastern time, or local to the people over here as well. So when it comes to it, the storm should be out of, like, say, West Virginia right around maybe 9 a.m. or so. Should be out of Maryland right around maybe noon or so. Pennsylvania storm system should be out right around noon as well. Right around noon for Pennsylvania, the storm system will be rolling through. It'll be out of New Jersey right around maybe 2 o'clock or so. Let's see here. It'll be out of Connecticut about 4 o'clock. Rhode Island about maybe 4 or 5, 6 o'clock. And it should be out of the entirety of the country, kind of right around like the early evening time. So right around 6, 7 p.m. or so. is whenever that storm system is going to be fully out. But then, like I said, after the storm system rolls through, so due to that cold air I was talking to you guys about a minute ago, we have a lot of cool air that's building into the region here that's flowing from the north into the northeastern United States here. In which this is actually going to be creating some lake effect snow. So obviously we have the Great Lakes, which are warmer than the ambient temperature around them. And as that cold air rolls over the Great Lakes, it's going to start condensing, and we're going to start to get a lot of water vapor starting to build up into the atmosphere, which eventually will condense, like I said, and then cause precipitation. And that is what we call lake effect snow. And as you can see, as this cold air rolls over those Great Lakes here, it will generate some snow engines, generate those snow engines, which will allow for a bit of lake effect snow to occur towards some of these regions out here, mostly towards like western New York State and overall those regions out. So we could definitely pick up several inches across those regions here overall, which obviously could be impactful to some regions there. Bring on the lake effects. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, so we'll definitely be seeing a bit of that here. That could really be heaviest, it looks like. Let's see here. That would be out there towards areas near Syracuse. It always seems like this one area, guys. I'm not even joking. This one area that's up here in New York State, which is right in here. So it's a little north of Syracuse. There's somebody in the stream before that lives here that I've talked to before. This one area always seems to get way much more snow than any other area here during an event, which is crazy. And we are expecting a good amount of snowfall total to fall out across those regions there. And once again, that region just so happens to be one of the most heaviest snowfall areas. We could definitely pick up maybe nearly a foot out there towards the region. Now, luckily, we do have a radar out here. There's got to be some type of something that's backing onto why this region gets a lot more snowfall than typical areas. But it's definitely really interesting to see that, because like the last couple events that I've tracked, they have literally been the same way in terms of this specific area getting hit more often and more snow than last time here. So, anyways. Let's see. How is the snow season still? Don't know what you mean by that, but it's hanging in there, I guess. We have this one storm system. It's been a while since we had like a really decent winter storm here that's popped off overall. This is, I consider this a pretty nasty storm system. Like I said, some areas are going to see well over a foot of snow with this total. Which definitely could drive a lot of problems, a lot of impacts, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So definitely is something that we're gonna that I wanted to track here this morning with you guys overall. So let's go and hop you all over here back to the warnings and advisories and stuff. Actually, we're gonna pull it up on this end over here. Just go ahead and do that real quickly. And we are going to pull up to the northeast here. So these are the current warnings, warnings, watches, and advisories, and all that stuff going on right now. So at the current moment, we do have ourselves these pink areas. These are all winter storm warnings. This is basically the region where heavy impacts regarding winter weather is expected. So obviously this does include portions like the Blue Ridge Mountains up there in northern West Virginia, portions of Maryland cutting through central southeastern Pennsylvania. Several inches of snowfall is expected across those regions, tracking into central and northern portions of New Jersey, southern New York, Long Island, portions of southern Connecticut, the entire state of Rhode Island, which is a very, very small state, and portions of, like I said, southeastern Massachusetts included as well, mostly just south of Boston. And of course, we have the winter weather advisories in the purple color here, which, just saying some kind of limited impacts of winter weather is expected. So, still, use caution while traveling and all that stuff. And of course, if we track away a little bit more down to the south here, we do have a lot of wind advisories in effect, all the way from basically northern Georgia, northern South Carolina, central side, cutting through North Carolina, and those regions out there. I mean, it is definitely, pretty windy out in some of those regions here. I mean, actually, it was a little windy here down in Florida here yesterday. And this is actually from the same system here, basically just driving up a whole lot of winds from the south, which, It's definitely allowing for some gusty conditions. Now, we actually have high wind warnings in effect for some of the Smoky Mountains out there in western North Carolina, across this kind of tannish, kind of more brownish tan color. Actually, yeah, this is more of a tan color. This tan color here, it is pretty much, that's where all the wind warnings are. Those high wind warnings are, where we're expecting a lot of heavy winds to occur overall. Let's see. Anyways. All right. See, no snow in Times Square. Yeah, I looked at that a minute ago. It looks like it's mostly just like a wintry mix that's all going on out there. But that'll probably change a bit. I mean, as the storm system continues to roll through, as cooler air backs in from the north, then you'll probably get maybe a little bit more of snowfall. But yeah, you can see right out there towards New York City. It's mostly a mix. I mean, temperatures are in almost the mid-40s, or say mid-30s overall. Let's see here. Woke up to what sound like water cannons hitting my roof. Let's see. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, no, there's some areas that's really heavy rainfall. Really heavy rainfall there. Let's see. Anyways, see, my area missed out on all the snow today. Yeah, it just happens like that sometimes, man. Trust me, I've been through that before. I get so hyped up and so ready for snow, and it just doesn't happen. It happened quite a bit when I lived up in Virginia. Some of these mid-Atlantic areas are such a hard area to forecast for winter weather. Because a lot of it, we got the Atlantic side, all that warm. That warm air coming in from the Atlantic, which, during these events here, brings up a lot of warm air into some of these areas. A lot of that warmer air from the waters, which really shows you, it really kind of throws around the areas of getting snow and the areas of not, particularly. Anyways. See your floods. Yeah, no, there is some flooding actually expected here. We got ourselves a bit of flood watch activity, bit of coastal flood activity as well. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and hop over here to models for a minute. Not to look at the models, but to let's see here, to hide them. That way I can kind of get some of that stuff out of the way there. Okay, so there's all the warnings and stuff like that, but let me go ahead and bring up those flood warnings and stuff like that, because yeah, we do have a lot of flood warnings popping off here across the let's see your hydro, a lot of coastal flood warnings popping off across some of the coastal areas here, which you can actually see the areas that's flashing in red and green. Those are all coastal flood warnings, where we are expecting some heavy coastal impacts here regarding some flooding from the storm system that's rolling through. We could get ourselves a bit of, let's see, 1 to 2 feet of inundation above ground level in low-lying areas. So definitely could pull up a bit of rainwater closer inland, which could definitely be a problem to some of those areas out there. We also do have ourselves. Let's see here. We're gonna get rid of those real quickly. Let's see. So we'll go and remove the flood warnings here. We're gonna pull back up the flood watches, because we do have a couple of flood watches as well, I believe. Well, why does this say we have flood watches? I guess not. But, I guess we don't have flood watches after all. Well, that's good. Yeah, the one program I was looking at here a second ago said that there was a lot of flood watches out, but apparently not. So that's good news. But we got a lot of coastal flood watches. That's kind of the main deal here. Let's see here. Hydro, we'll turn that off. And we'll turn on flood warnings, because we do have a couple flood warnings. Yeah, we have one out here in, wow. Especially across the southeast, we got a lot of flood warnings popping through. Mostly for those like creeks and streams and all those areas that are prone to flooding. Yeah, it's mostly for a lot of those areas in the southeast, because we did get a lot of rainfall from this storm system that did roll through. So let me actually look at that real quickly and see how much rain we've seen. So precipitation, I remember we were expecting about 2-3 inches when I was forecasting this here. So let's see how that held up, man. Let's see how that held up, and it looks like it held up perfectly. Yeah, look at that, perfect, good forecast there. So 2-4 inches. I mean, kind of what we were expecting. You know, mostly right around 2 inches or so. I was saying 2 to 3 inches. We mostly did see 2 to 3 inches. In some local spots, like some of the models we're picking up, we did break over 5 or 6 inches out there in some spots. Out there in southeastern Alabama, seems like I think it was the Euro model. Either Euro or GFS that was really showing those bands rolling through Alabama and Georgia, which could potentially be heavy out there. You know, all those heavy storms. What do you know? Heavy precipitation rates bring some pretty heavy, pretty heavy potential out there. So that is kind of what it's been like. But yeah, no, it definitely pretty good amount of rainfall out there. Not gonna lie. Of course, out there towards the Mid-Atlantic, you know, it's still kind of ongoing here, so it's a little hard to see updated views right now, but we'll keep y'all informed with that, and we'll definitely have to look out there for that here in the next day or so. All right, let's see here. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on back. I'm gonna hop over here to the radar view. We're gonna bring back up my data here for a moment. Let's see here. We're going to turn up the data here overall, and there we go. So when it comes to current radar view and stuff like that, what's going on right now, we got ourselves central Pennsylvania popping through right now of a bit of winter weather that's ongoing here. We got ourselves, like I said, a bit of rainfall for northern Virginia, cutting through Maryland, portions of southeastern Pennsylvania, out there towards portions near New Jersey. Mostly rainfall for the central southern side, but northern New Jersey is currently seeing a bit of snowfall. Work way up here towards Long Island. It's kind of a bit of a wintry mix out here. A little bit of snow, a little bit of rainfall, kind of mixture ongoing out in those regions. Maybe a little bit of sleet as well, potentially could mix in. But yeah, so for the most part here, it's mostly snow above, Long Island out there towards Connecticut and Rhode Island and portions of Massachusetts. Now, eastern Massachusetts right now, there's still a little warm. There still is a bit of warm air that is into the eastern sides near Cape Cod, which is allowing it to remain rainfall for now. But as that cold air starts to pull through from the west, it'll actually allow for those temperatures to drop, even while morning is getting ready, or the sun's getting ready to rise. Even while that's happening, the cooler air is going to overtake the sun's radiative heating, which is going to allow for those temperatures to drop below freezing, or ride right around the freezing point, and that will allow for the transition from rain into snow to occur, which overall that's what's going to happen there. Let's see, my dog was not amused when we had to go out a little while ago. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Let's see here, but anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on here, y'all, right now. Just wanted to hop on here for a little bit and talk about what's going on. Probably going to head off here pretty soon. Like I said, was not planning on doing a really, really long live stream, but just wanted to hop on here, go over latest totals and current observations of what's going on right now. That way you guys can kind of plan your morning accordingly and all that stuff. And like I said, once again, we'll go ahead and go over this real quickly, and then we'll head off here. Like I was saying, regarding the snowfall and all that stuff, like I said, it'll be out of West Virginia right around 9 a.m. or so, out of Virginia about noon or so. Same thing for Maryland overall. It'll be out of New Jersey. The snow will be out of New Jersey by 2 p.m., or right around 2 p.m., I should say. It will be out of Long Island and Connecticut by right around 4 p.m. It'll be out of all of Massachusetts by basically mid-evening here. We're talking right around maybe 4. Sorry, maybe more like 6 or 7 p.m. here overall. And of course, after that system rolls through tonight, we're going to start to get a bit of lake effect snow that's going to start to generate cross portions out there in western New York and all that area there. So it's quite a bit of a snowy situation that we have going on for some of these regions out there. So just a bit of a heads up to y'all. As like I said, we have that advancing cool air coming down here. The Great Lakes, the surface temperature of the Great Lakes is obviously above freezing, which is warmer than the ambient air around it. which, like I said, due to that the lakes being warmer and the cool air that's rolling over them being obviously cooler, that will generate a lot of water vapor, which will eventually work its way up into the atmosphere and condense into precipitation, and then that precipitation will start to fall, and in this case, since the air is naturally colder, it will continue to be snowfall. So that's that. See, be prepared for power outages. Yeah, of course. There's already a little bit of power outage activity we've already been seeing here. Right now, let's see. This is the last update here we did. It's going to do a little update on that. So here we go. Pennsylvania, we got about nearly 30,000 people without power as of now. West Virginia, about 11,000. Maryland, about 2,000. New Jersey, nearly 2,000 as well. Let's see here. New York, not even 200. So yeah, not as many impacts yet for those regions, but that will increase obviously as we work our way down here in time and all that stuff. So definitely keep an eye out there for that. But all right, well guys, like I said, I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up here for now. Like I said, just wanted to hop on here for a little bit. We were here for about 40 minutes or so, which is good little chunk of time here that you guys could look out there, because I know a lot of you guys have work and stuff like that to get to, and just wanted to hop on here for a little bit and kind of show y'all what we were in store for, kind of show you what's going on right now in terms of the weather activity and all that stuff. So all right, well, I think that's going to roll off here. Once again, thank y'all for joining us. We'll catch y'all later on this evening here. I do plan on doing another live stream here to give y'all an update here in the future weather term and all that and stuff. So if y'all did enjoy it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you've not already. I'll be greatly appreciated. And like I said, after the storm system is a quick little peek, we are watching another system actually to roll its way across portions here of the Midwest. We'll talk more about this here. Like I said, we'll definitely talk more about this here whenever the time comes to it. You can actually see how we're going to be seeing. Let's see. I'll hop over here real quickly. We're going to be seeing ourselves a bit of a little bit of a clipper system to roll through, like maybe South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, and moving this way up to the northeast here as high pressure builds in behind it, cooler high pressure. So, like I said, another system that'll be taking place here basically between the right around the 15th. Actually, we got a couple little clipper systems. We got a little one in here, a little one right here. So, kind of little spurts of winter weather is going to be popping off for the next couple of days. So, that'll be that. But, all right, y'all. Well, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good day at school, work, whatever you're all doing today. And like I said, it's going to wrap it up here for now. Appreciate y'all being here. And like I said, if y'all are just joining and you want to know what's going on with the weather, like I said, just rewind the live stream to the beginning. All the information we given to you guys is fresh. We go over a lot of things here in this live stream. So if you want to check all that out, just rewind the live stream to the beginning and all that stuff. So, but anyways, all right, you guys. Well, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys later on. All right, guys. Stream's gonna head off here in about 2 minutes, so go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, family, anybody you're hanging out with, and all right, y'all take care, and we'll see you later on. Peace out, my friends. Catch you then.
Impacts. Plan on slippery road conditions. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning commute. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission remind motorists to adjust speeds based on driving conditions, as winter weather impacts will include snow-covered roads and limited visibility. Call 511 or visit www.511pa.com for the latest travel, roadway, and traffic conditions. To report snow or ice, post to the National Weather Service State College Facebook page. Use Twitter at NWSSTATECOLLEGE or visit weather.gov/CTP. You are listening to NOAA Weather Radio All Hazards, station WXL 43 in Scranton on a frequency of 162.550 megahertz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service office in Binghamton and serves the Wyoming Valley, including Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, and the Poconos of northeast Pennsylvania. The following is a winter weather message for the following county: Wyoming, Pennsylvania. Winter weather advisory remains in effect until 1 p.m. this afternoon. What? Snow. Additional snow accumulations of up to 1 inch. Where? Wyoming County. When? Until 1 p.m. this afternoon. Impacts. Plan on slippery road conditions. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning commute. slow down and use caution while traveling. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission remind motorists to adjust speeds based on driving conditions as winter weather impacts Pennsylvania roadways. Visit www.511pa.com for the latest travel, roadways, and traffic conditions.